I do not talk about physique very much on this page, and that's actually very intentional. For the longest time, I was singularly focused on changing the way that I looked. I grew up super overweight. I then lost about 50 pounds going into high school, and then I was super skinny. And I thought the only reason that I'm finally going to be happy with the way that I look is if I pack on a bunch of muscle. So naturally, I found the gym, I started strength training, started trying to put on muscle. But what happened was I was so focused on my appearance that it didn't really matter how I was progressing in the gym, what weights I was putting up, whether or not I felt like I was getting more confident in my ability to move, because I was so singularly focused on whether or not I was noticing physical changes in the mirror. And you might be able to relate too. I think so often people start working out because they want to change their appearance. And that is completely understandable, and it's common and it's normal. And I have nothing against you wanting to change the way that you look. But at the same time, I don't think you being focused on your physique has to be the only reason that you train in the gym. I am a firm believer that confidence comes from competence. If you are able to get more skilled, move better, and just feel more confident in your ability to know what you are doing when you're working out, I think that is going to have a much greater payoff than you having a little bit more arm definition, or having a little bit of visible abs, or losing a little bit of weight on your legs. I stopped focusing on training for appearance a very long time ago. And I can say with full confidence that I've never been happier with my training or with my appearance since I've stopped making that the only thing that I was in it for. The more I focus on my lifts, the more I focus on how I feel, how I perform, and whether or not I'm getting better at the skill of movement as a whole, the better I feel about myself. And it's no longer tied to what I see in the mirror, because I've just built a greater sense of what's actually important to me and what I actually want to prioritize in my life. Do I want to look a certain way? Absolutely. And there will always be a part of me that deep down cares about what I look like. I'm not saying that you shouldn't either. But I think if you're so focused on your appearance and whether or not you look a certain way, and that's the only reason that you train in the first place, you are leaving a ton of growth, change, and confidence building on the table. Again, there's nothing wrong with wanting to change the way that you look. Physique can absolutely be a part of your journey. But I also don't think it has to be the only reason that you train. Because the more you can look at the gym as a way of growing and improving and bettering yourself separate from whether or not you look a certain way, the happier you're going to be and the more you're going to enjoy your training.